This claim about magic. Bill Maher calls it magic, and later he's going to make this label of magic about religion in general. This is primarily the thing I want to say. Magic? The idea of religion being magic? Well, the idea that there is a God and that God might intervene, that God might do and work his will and might save certain people that he wants to save. The idea of that being magic in general. The idea, and atheists say these kinds of things, and it's not a well thought out argument. God, fairy tale stuff, magic, they might say. Bill Maher certainly thinks of the idea of God being magic. But it's always a fascinating statement. And if I was having a conversation with Bill Maher, and other people have said this, it didn't originate with me. But I have to tell you, and this is what I'd say, Bill, have you thought this out? Atheism is worse than magic. In magic, the quintessential concept of magic is the magician who pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Atheism is worse than magic. Atheism is more stupid than magic. Because in atheism, the rabbit pulls himself out of the hat. You don't have the magician. So you haven't one-upped magic. If the concept of God is magic, atheism is worse. Now, the concept of a rabbit pulling himself out is worse, more absurd, harder to believe. So you didn't do yourself any favor there by calling it magic. If the things to do with God are magic, atheism is worse. And I would be quicker to believe in a man being able to magically pull a rabbit out of a hat than the rabbit pulling himself out of the hat. A rabbit, I've said this before, but a rabbit pulling himself out of the hat is something from Looney Tunes. You might see Bugs Bunny pulling himself out of a hat. In Looney Tunes, you have all kinds of nonsensical scenarios where the laws of physics don't exist and contradictory, nonsense things. I can imagine Bugs Bunny pulling himself out of a hat. So if the concept of God doing supernatural things or providential things in the world is magic, then atheism is Looney Tunes. That's what you got, Bill Maher. You got Looney Tunes. Atheism is worse than magic. It's harder to believe in magic because your whole philosophy is founded on an assumption that is bogus and easily disproved by everyday observable and repeatable science. Observational science tells you that life originates from life. And that's repeatable. And science can't show you the opposite. But this whole atheistic mindset, especially the atheistic evolutionary mindset, presupposes something that not only has never been proven, but disproven time and time again and can be repeatedly. This assumption, this presupposition that life originates from non-life, when it is repeatably demonstrable that life originates from life. Your philosophy, your worldview, Bill Maher, is much harder to believe. Much less credible. And as I've already said, if my worldview is magic to you, then yours is Looney Tunes to me.